Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Matt Harrington with the Southwestern Vermont Chamber of Commerce, and welcome to the Lunch and Learn series of 2023. We haven't done one yet, so we're very excited about this one. We're excited again to be in Cat TV studio. We want to thank our friends over at Cat TV for just allowing us to do this. This gives just greater access to all the smarts and all the thoughts that are coming through the Chamber, and especially the Lunch and Learn series. We love partnering with them so that not only do we have in the audience people learning all the things that Ahmed's going to present today, but as well as all of you out there on Facebook have a chance. If you can't get over here, you're running the shop, you're running the store, and you want to pop onto Facebook, this gives great access. So again, thank you to our friends over at Cat TV. This is our first one of the year, and what a great one it is. We have Ahmed Yasser here from Vermont News and Media. Many of you probably recognize that as the Bennington Banner, the Manchester Journal, Vermont Country Magazine. We've got a couple of those. I'm sure Ahmed's going to mention them throughout the presentation. One of the things we found late last year with our membership, when we did the membership survey, was that marketing, social media, digital marketing, all that kind of stuff always comes to the top. It's the number one issue you are all facing as you work with your small businesses and small nonprofits. So without further ado, we're very excited to have Ahmed here, and he's going to present to you today on digital marketing. Ahmed.
Thank you so much. Welcome, everyone. My name is Ahmed. I work at Vermont News and Media. My title keeps on switching. You can call me your digital marketing consultant, your digital advertising and marketing person, Bennington County, Southern Vermont. And I'm excited to talk to you today about digital marketing. I would like to start a little bit by just telling you about today's agenda. I would like to start with a quick introduction. I would like us to go through digital assets. What does that mean? And I would like us to focus a little bit on what does sequence channels mean. I have a portion sort of dedicated to talking about locals and tourists. I mean, this is pretty much if we want to put down the categories of your target market, especially for businesses in the area or organizations in the area, you're always trying to keep your engagement with locals, but also when tourists are coming by, why not stop at your place? So we're gonna talk a little bit about how can you keep your engagement with your local customers, but also how to attract tourists. And then after we talk about all of these, we will go straight to Canva, where it's basically a really good platform to create quality designs, things that will be able to represent your business online the same way how you represent it very well in person, and also talk about bulk and its values, whether this is something you would be interested in or not. So in the introduction, I would just like to introduce myself a little bit. My name is Ahmed. I actually have always liked marketing and digital marketing as a passion, although throughout college and in, let's say, previous careers, I was exploring different things. So, I'm from Lebanon. I went to Bosnia and Herzegovina for high school. I came to Bennington College for college, and that's where I was mostly looking into studies related to community building. I was developing my portfolio in visual arts as an artist, and I was exploring all of these different digital media platforms and assets. I started by, I actually wanted to be a teacher, so I taught in Turkey, Somaliland, Beirut, and the States. So that's why if you ever want to reach out, I am your consultant. I'm happy to teach you, walk you through it. My background is in education before it became into marketing. But mixing all these things together, it ends up being a really cool product of like understanding your audience, being creative, knowing your business, and being able to truly communicate your values and everything that you stand for online the same way you do in person. I started work at Vermont News and Media around a year or so ago, mostly around the need of local businesses, pretty much everyone having a higher demand for social media, having a higher demand for looking into different things they can do online to represent their businesses. So when I first started, as you know, there are a lot of options for print advertising and print marketing through Vermont News and Media, but then we also started developing a lot of things that are related to online publicity work. So for example, right now, there are a few businesses that fully outsource their marketing to us, whether it's their social media, newsletters, print ads, keeping it consistent and keeping pretty much all of their platforms open and available. I would say from my experience going to a lot of different places and sort of being a part of this community for 4 years as a college student before actually entering the community, I always valued online assets, like having an offer to go teach somewhere internationally and being able to look at what resources you have access to, what do you need to take with you, what is already going to be available there. Same thing as people going from, let's say, New York to Maine, Mass to somewhere else, coming through our area. There is a really, really big value in them seeing what we have and what we offer online. Bennington has a lot. Like as a county, as a town, trying to make outsiders understand that there is Bennington County and Bennington Town. Trying to understand all of these different names around our area is a little bit of a challenge, but there is the strong brand of Vermont. But I always value things that are available and accessible online, because after all, first impressions matter a lot. And for anyone, whether it's local, whether it's tourists, they like seeing pretty things. Which takes me to the first thing, which is digital assets. So your digital assets as a business are really up to you. But these are the ones that I would recommend. I mean, having a website is very, very important. For all of the reasons that you might know. You can be using it as an online business card. You can be using it as your online portfolio where you're showing your different work. It gives integrity. It gives your business this legitimacy as having a business that has good online presence. The second thing is sequence. So this is kind of important because you also set your sequence based on your business, based on how you like to communicate with your audience. So whether you want your sequence to be, let's say, with some frequency, email communication, email newsletters, sending people links directly to their email where they can do their quick purchase, having text communication. That's also very important, especially if you're organizing events, especially if you're organizing crowds, especially if you're bringing people together and you really want to keep the hype going, giving them an update every now and then. Social media, I would like to we have dedicated some time for it a little bit later, but social media is absolutely one of your sequence channels. When it comes to content, people love seeing high quality photos and videos. Also in content, you have your press content, sponsored content, social media content. These are all different contents, but by the end of the day, social media is truly the way how you're documenting your work. But again, we'll talk about this later. And people ask why. Why have a website? Why care about social media? Why care about all of these things? And there are entirely too many reasons. But to list a couple, one, it's a place where people can find you. Everyone has access to the internet. Two, you can follow up with potential customers. There is nothing easier than a Facebook DM or an Instagram DM or any way for a person to have access to you, to ask you directly. If a customer has one question and they just need one answer to go to your place, having your accounts active and online is really necessary for the engagement, for that one step that you might be missing to bring more people in. but also most importantly, it's a great first impression. It's a really good first impression for your business when your online assets and your digital assets are in really good shape. Doesn't mean that you have to copy the best one in the industry. You absolutely can. But it's more about you actually communicating and representing how great your business is in person, but online. The next thing that I would like to talk about is basically how can we think about assets in terms of understanding this area, its appeal to tourists, but also keeping the engagement with locals. So let's start with locals. It's a bit easier. You have your local chamber. Join them. They have great assets for online marketing that they can help you with, whether you're utilizing them or not. Once you're a member, you can post in their calendar, be a part of their blasts every Friday. You can add to their events. You can be listed in the directory. And at least for me and from the experience of a lot of people, we go to these directories a lot, to become aware of new businesses, knowing who's shutting down even, knowing how different businesses are coming to place, whether they're under entertainment. Directories are important. You have your local paper. Bennington County has 2 papers, which is awesome. Just the act of, let's say, a tourist coming here, staying on a mountain, staying at a hotel, looking up food near me. Once they see a food review written by, let's say, the Manchester Journal, that is going to give you so much legitimacy. They're going to be like, whoa, this place is being covered by the paper, let's go. And other than news coverage, you also have the options for the print advertising, digital ads, special publications, which again, all of these things, truly all of this side of the presentation is how you can be a part of a map. How can you a part of the directory? How can you be more present? And in an area like this, you really need to take advantage of all of your platforms. We're at a point where age is becoming more diverse in Vermont. We have a lot of people moving in. When it comes to people's backgrounds, we have people from a lot of different states moving in. We have people that grew up here that are already used to the couple of formats they're used to receive the news or updates. But now, especially after the pandemic, this is the time to truly utilize every single platform you have available. Because right now, reaching people and communicating with people, with all of these things being available, not that it's limited, but it's you really need to get their attention. And then, of course, you have the magazines, you have the local organizations, let's say, for example, the Manchester Business Association, Better Bennington Corporation. You have Facebook groups, local Facebook groups are pretty active. And you have other local online platforms that really up to you from your experience as a local. If you check out Front Porch Forum once or twice a day, or even once or twice a week, use it. Create an account, start posting on it. And that's when it comes to the local portion of it. It's truly diverse. It's multi-platform. A lot of different mediums to it, but it can be covered. When it comes to tourists, or let's say tourists, outsiders, literally every single person that uses the internet, to not limit the audience. 1, the digital assets that we already talked about. You need your website, you need your everything for tourists, outsiders to see it. 2, SEO. You might have heard about this entirely too much, and you're like, whoa, SEO is important. I have no idea what SEO is. Let me tell you this example. You walk into a mall, and that is Google, okay? Consider Google as a mall. You go into Google, you look up this one thing, and exactly like the mall, you walked into the mall, you have entirely way too many options. Now, if let's say, my shop in the mall is, let's say, the shop in the mall, for example, that's why they end up making food courts. So at least you have this one place that has all of the food. So if you're looking for food, you go there and you look for it, So if you as a business, you are specifying, let's say your SEO and your Google keywords to food, a lot of things that are related to food, this means that when people are just looking you up online, food near me, you will pop up first. So basically, you walk into a mall, you have so many options, same as Google, food near me, you have so many options. The thing that will make you rank first is being in the food court, having signs, having posters, social media stuff that basically say that you're in the mall first. 1, tell people you're in the mall. 2, tell people on what floor is the food court. 3, how are you going to look more appealing in the food court compared to other businesses that are also selling food? So that is SEO. It's not necessarily complicated. It's just something that always needs assessment, always needs development, always needs you trying to understand your business and how your business and industry and audience lives online, basically. And there are online resources that are available. Like go to ads.google.com or simply look up Keyword Planner by Google, and you can look up the keywords that are relevant to your business to see what other people are looking up. If you look up just plainly food under keywords, you will see the top one, Thai food. Whoa. That's a good thing to know for the Southshire Inn, right? Now, the thing about SEO also is that it's development. It takes some time. So for you to publish a website, for the SEO to kick in, and for you to not be on page 10 of Google, this usually takes 6 to 12 months or something for you to actually rank up. So that's why things like PPC and digital ads exist. PPC is basically like pay-per-click if you want to have a Google ad. Basically, when your business, when you look it up on Google, has ad right next to it, that will help you. That will make you skip 6 to 12 months. You're paying for it to be up there. So that whenever someone is looking up food plus Bennington, you are ranking up there. The other way is absolutely digital ads. If you're trying to sell online, if you're trying to be seen more online, you have to advertise online. And digital ads are a great platform, are a great medium. Digital ads are basically high-frequency ads that are posted on websites where you know that the viewers of these websites might be interested in the content of this ad and click on it. Digital ads start, like the smallest thing, starts with 10,000 impressions per month. Impressions is basically the sum number of views plus clicks that an ad gets. So let's say if you design an ad and you are putting it with a frequency of 10,000, that sort of equals to you posting on social media every day, but 10,000 times a month. And you measure it. Is it possible for you to post 10,000 times a month? Probably not. Is it worth it putting all of that time into developing all of these repetitive social media posts? No. Social media has a different purpose than repetition. So that's why digital ads and pay-per-click options by Google are things that you can integrate to make the process faster, basically. To get more people to your website, get more people to look at your products, and see you online. And the best thing about online ads is that you can measure results. You will see this creative got this many clicks, that creative got more clicks, so let's use the second one more. An animated ad in this placement is operating better than this ad in the other placement. Cool, let's kill that one and keep that one active. And that's the cool thing about it, is that it's always measurable. You're always seeing how it's operating, and you can do changes to it. And you can upload like multiple creatives to take you to the same URL. And yeah, it's absolutely important for you to actually keep track and measure, so you would know what is being successful and what's not. The next thing is social media, which is kind of a big topic. I had a lot of notes, but I actually did follow through them. So, for social media, basically, your customers and competition are all on social media. But it's important to know that people are on social media, honestly, not to look at your products. They're on social media to look at their friends, family, see what's going on, graduation. Maybe some people actually like to get their news from social media, which is another conversation we can do. So basically, we just really need to keep in mind that different platforms have different intent. And how you want to use them is important, but you need to be clear. Like, you really need to be clear. And I would say that Canva and Meta both are truly your best friends. If you're big on social media, Canva and Meta are your best friends. Does it help promote your business effectively? Absolutely, but posting online is not marketing. Posting online is a way for you to document what's going on. It's a way for a potential customer to see, honestly, to see when was your last post, to see whether you're active or not. Just a quick scroll through to see what you have. Is it important to update? Absolutely. Is it important to always post on it? Absolutely. And that's always the question, like, hey, my return on investment for Instagram is so low. Let me cut it. My return on investment is so low for this platform. Let me cut it. But it's truly like, this is where like your strategy and the platforms you use are very important. And this is where truly like Canva and Meta become very important. And this is like kind of weird, but I would say in social media, quantity does matter a little bit more than quality. If you look at accounts, the accounts that post 10 posts a day that are bad operates and performs way better than accounts that post one perfect, beautiful post per day. This is how the internet works. This is how algorithms work. We're at a point right now where there's entirely too much content production. And if we want to talk about your, let's say, return on investment, why spend hours create a post that people will look at for a couple of seconds? So this is why, like, when people are like, oh, Canva, why use Canva? It's not that it is very professional, it's high quality, and most importantly, it will help you generate a post that will be looked at for maximum 2 minutes in 2 minutes. So at least you're putting as much effort as how much people are looking at it. So this is when we make a jump to talk about Canva, which is where this presentation was on. So I'm gonna exit this, and we're gonna start with our Canva portion. This is pretty cool planning. I wanted half an hour talking, half an hour Canva, and we're at it. So this is Canva. Welcome, canva.com. You can sign up for free by your email. And then after you log in, this is where you are. So I love Canva. I really love Canva. Basically, Canva is like a Google Docs, but for designs. It's the best mix of Google Docs, Google Slides, and like Photoshop Express, if you ever use that. So let's just look at the dashboard. This is what you see when you first go in. Let's look on top. You have your sandwich bar. You can close, open. I like it. For the designs, this is really cool to know all of the different options that you can be doing, whether it's from documents, if you just want to pretty up a proposal, a presentation, if you have one, like we did, whiteboards, if you want to present, even video editing options became available recently. They have print options as of recently, shirts, cards, they deliver pretty good quality, marketing stuff, logos, posters, flyers, brochures, all of these things. The cool thing about it is that they basically tell you all of the different marketing solutions and stuff that you might need. So it's a good way to actually like be inspired also. Everything from Google Docs to whiteboard. Yeah, we talked about it. Facebook post, all of them. One of the cool functions is the create a design, where you can basically look it up. I like Canva because it truly like gives you the dimensions to start with. From here, it gives you the dimensions so you don't get lost in the whole thing. Whether you want to get specific, like let's say, oh yeah, it is the first one. Like specific to being like Facebook event cover, because it is a different size from a Facebook banner somewhere. And for example, you have the options whether you want an Instagram post to be portrait or not. But what I like to do is basically also try to look into their templates to see if anything grabs your attention. What example do we want to do? Let's keep the example on food. So in here, we can pretty much see all of their examples for templates that they have done. They update them regularly. You can keep on browsing. You have a lot of different options. You can take it down a little bit less into looking up less stuff. If you, let's say, you want to make it specific to an Instagram post. And then explore templates within an Instagram post template. What else? Let's keep on exploring the dashboard. If you go to here, it gives you all of the different options. So same thing. If you're like, whoa, you can be creating Instagram stories rather than making it manually all the time. And all of these. Let's start by creating a portrait Instagram post. It's going to start with white. It's up to you if you feel like freestyling on white space, or whether you want to pick a template that you like. So in here, this is where we can summarize it even more. So now you're at specifically Instagram size, specifically templates that are about food. So let's say I am a business owner. I am sitting on a Sunday or a free day that you have. Let's say, again, measuring the whole, like, how much time are you actually dedicating to your marketing and to your social media, and how is it converting? One of the things that I like to do the most is to, let's say, plan for my content a couple of weeks ahead, or let's say prepare content for the whole month ahead. So this is where I can start basically choosing different templates that I want. Let's say I want to use these 4 templates for my upcoming posts for the week. The thing about Canva is that, like you see, like these are different templates, completely different designs, completely different looks. This might represent, let's say, more of a vegan, organic place. This might represent more of like maybe a juice bar, kind of, trying to appeal for younger people with the photos. In here, this is like more fast food, trying to get you these colors that you always see associated with fast food. And this kind of brings up the limitation about Canva, which is not really a limitation, more like something that you just need to be on the lookout for, which is branding. So if we go back to the dashboard, if you want to like really get into, let's see. So, do I remember where? Yes, it's here now. So, I really like the brand kit. I really like their brand option. The thing is that I work with entirely too many different businesses that I cannot have one brand kit for my Canva, but you could. So this is where, for example, you can add your logo. You can add your fonts, and this way your designs will just convert to your brand, basically. So this is really, really essential. Like, it's really good for you to like have set fonts for your title, for your subtitle, all of these different things, in order to generate these in a way that is more compatible with your brand. Let's say right now I am working on these. let's say my font, my business font that I use for my header, let's say for example, is Lato. So I will use Lato Bold for header. I will change them all to be like that. Let's say I want my business paragraph is set to just basic. What is it on Canva? Yeah, it's with an A on Canva. And this is where you're like sort of starting to like make it look more like your business. You do not use these colors. Let's say you're a Vermont brand. You like to keep it green and black. We switch this with your logo. And it becomes a design that represents your business. And basically you replicate that with the rest of them. So this is sort of example one, just talking about using templates and changing templates to basically have an appeal that your business has, your business brand. The other thing that I like using in Canva a lot is photos, because after all, social media, people like looking at photos. And in here, let's explore this dashboard. So the first one that we did was the templates. We were exploring the templates. You can explore different elements. In here, I want to explore this element. This helps a lot. Let's say you are creating a website or social media posts that basically focus on the different things you do. So let's say you are, to give this example, you are Downtown Window and Design in Manchester, Vermont. I really like their logo. It's pretty cool. It sits pretty nicely. They like their high-end look. We can play with the arrangement here pretty easily. Drop their logo, or let's say if you wanted in the bottom, you don't want the logo to be overlaying the image like this, so you basically grab another element, your square. It can be white. Grab it to the bottom. You can stretch it as much as you like. Match it with the logo, but you can give the logo a little bit more space to breathe out. From here, this is my favorite thing ever. You have the arrange, you have your layers. They just added this recently. In the arrange, you can basically take it to the back, but not this back. Go on to the back, but not this back. And you find it. You grab your elements, both of them, this one and this one. And again, you have both of them. This is where you can make sure that everything is lined up. You make sure that it's lined up. Now that you have the logo in the center of the box, you can group them. Sorry, I'm used to Mac. You can group them. Now they're grouped. And now that they're grouped, they're one element. You are certain that it's in the center. And all of this line work, spacing, left and right, you did it in a few seconds. Let's say Downtown Window and Design, you kind of came up with this. They want their logo to be out here. And now we're gonna start grabbing some of their photos. So they do, let's say, wall coverings. They also do fabric work. They also do wallpapers. And they also do rugs. So this is how we basically created 4 separate posts. Each of them will have a caption promoting a specific thing that you're trying to promote. You can schedule them using Meta to go out on Instagram and Facebook, and you have it done. To kind of give another example real quick of like, now let's explore the other elements from here. We're gonna explore text, and we're gonna explore the idea of a CTA, let's say a call to action. Let's say I want to make a call to action about the Manchester Journal. So I have the Manchester Journal here. I will basically jump straight to my fonts to show you another cool feature, which is, let's say your website, your brand was made by someone else. You ask them, hey, what fonts were you using? And you can upload your fonts to Canva. And that's how we have our Manchester Journal logo. It just showed up because it's a logo by text. Let's say we're creating a CTA on, let's say, the Manchester Journal, having, for example, 10% off for a yearly subscription. So, I mean, we know this text isn't going to be read very nicely. So this is where we can go for another font, fix my typo or my thing. Again, I'm used to my tiny Mac keyboard. This is where we can find out, like, how do you want it to be? Do you want it to be like this? And then you're like, nah, I want 10% off to be bigger. So let's duplicate this, get 10% off from here for a yearly subscription. And in here, again, like, I love these a lot. You can center them. You can make sure they're aligned however you want. Let's say, whoa, I made 10% off on its own. What if there is an element that I can use for 10% off? And there is. And it's really up to you if you want to use it or not. You can explore more. So let's say I do want to use this type of element. I'll make it smaller. Let's say I want an image that is appealing. So now we're still exploring this sidebar. We're going to go to photos. And guess what? Let's see if Canva has photos on Manchester, Vermont. And they do. So, I mean, this is a photo. I bet a bunch of people will be able to tell right away that it's from Manchester, Vermont. If you're not certain, you can always click and make sure that it's actually what you want. And in here, we can grab our element again, put it here, Y-waste, white space, or Y-waste space at all. So let's bring this back, center it, bring this. So you're making it clear it's from the Manchester Journal, putting a cool photo. Let's say I want to add a text in the bottom that basically says subscribe now. And this is where you can be exploring other things here in the effects. So let's say you want this to be appealing to more like younger people that use like filters and other stuff. So they like seeing this a lot. It looks like a button. It will make people click on it. Let's say you want to explore different backgrounds now. So let's go for something gray maybe. I don't like it. Let's go for something different. You have different options. Let's say I want it to be like this. I want to give the journal some type of little lift effect. You don't want to waste your space. You make it bigger. You can grab all of these elements to make sure that they're centered. Then you can basically group them. Control G, group, please group. It's not shift, it's control. Is it? What is grouping on Windows? I remember. And then you basically have a design like this. Let's say you want it to be repetitive. We can now grab another photo that is from Manchester. Let's say you want to give it a completely different look. You want to go back to white. This time you actually want to say that you have an offer, elements, 10% off. you end up coming up with assets. Let me show you some of the Canva work that I've done here, so you can see actual examples. Here's a few. So we have this, we have different elements, we have the title, we have the header, you get your basically hook, something that grabs attention, if you have an offer, if it expires, and a direct CTA. This is back when we were running the daily, the promo codes basically. You can incorporate animations, play with different ideas, incorporate more animations. The next thing that I would like to talk about, I'm gonna switch to this, because that one was the pro version, but in here you can see some more of the free versions. It's truly the same. There's not much difference in it. And the thing that people kind of struggle with when it comes to design work is truly like the consistency, not the consistency, but it's more like working in different dimensions, which I think Canva really helps with a lot. And for this, we just switched to Michaela's team to pretty much show you a real example also. If you didn't get your tickets yet, on May 17th, the Women in Leadership Luncheon will be taking place, where we're going to be celebrating women leaders from our community. Nominate your people and come to the event. So let's say we're going to work with this. So we're going to go to it. Let's say we are going to convert this into a Facebook banner. So in here, we can grab our Facebook banner. We need a Facebook cover, is what they would like to call it. So now we're going to convert something that is going in this direction into something that is going in this direction. The first thing we can do is basically grab all of the elements, get copy, bring them here. You see, the size is different, everything is different. We're going to grab the background from here. Let's copy the same color. Just to be certain with the code, although we have a different blue over here, we have this frame, we have a lot of things going on, so you might want to think about seeing it big at first before you start moving things around. And in here we will see we have some elements to the center, we have some elements aligned right, some elements are aligned right also. We have a few of these graphics, a QR code. Right now, this is not going to be for print, it's going to be for online, so we don't really need the QR code. So what I like to do is basically see my first design here, and then basically just open a second one. And that's when I'm gonna start copying the elements. So I will start with the frame. You dropped your frame, you're extending it to go all the way. If you want to be certain also, you can always come here. So now we don't have the top and bottom options available. It means that you actually reached it to the top and bottom if you're not certain. We took it to the left. Now we're gonna stretch it all the way to the right, and now it's in full. It's not giving you options anymore. Let's go back to this. Right now we're gonna copy 1, 2, 3, 4 elements. We're gonna group them. We're gonna copy them. Now we're gonna bring them here. Size doesn't make sense. It's in the center. Let's keep it in the center. We want it to grab more attention. And now from our original design, we see that the Southwest Vermont Chamber decided to pretty much connect these two together. These elements are important to be next to each other. So we're basically going to keep it to the same thing. But again, we don't need the QR. So we're going to copy them, bring them here. It's different. How do we fix it? Go to position, align everything in the center. Now you have this, you grab it. Canva has these very handy margins to them. Because we grouped it, it's a little bit all over the place. So let's ungroup it. And now we see that, for example, the last thing that we have coming out is Southwest Vermont. We're gonna close its box to actually get its size perfectly. Go back to the position, make sure it's in the center. And now, just to keep all of the proportions consistent, we're gonna grab all of these. It's in the center, it's not in the middle. We can't do that. So what you do is you basically grab both of these, group them first, and then you grab them with this element and make sure it's in the middle. Now that you know that all of your elements are in the middle and center of your box, this is where you can group it, this is where you can group all of these together. Now they're grouped, and you can start making it bigger. So we did all of this, so I would match the S with the yellow and the T with the yellow. Give it some space. And here you have it. It kind of looks awkward, so we might as well change it. So what we can do here is that you can absolutely ungroup it. Let's say this time you really want this to like really grab attention. You have limited tickets available. Let's make it bigger. Let's put it back in the center. It's in the center. Let's group it again. It's grouped. And now it's in the center and middle of the yellow element. You want to grab more things from here. You have this. Copy, take it down, paste. You want to put your keynote speaker. Are they important? Should they be over the logo? Probably not. So let's take the information here. This means that we can grab all of our elements with a shift if you're using PC and take it up, either with this or your mouse. We're taking all of our elements up because this is a bit too small, so we can make this bigger. Do you have other information that you need to put? Absolutely. Who is it being presented by and where to buy the tickets? So this information is kind of important. So what we can do, bring it here, we put this here. Let's balance it a bit. We have an element here, nothing really happening on the side. What I would do is that this time I will ungroup them. I will, this time, instead of being aligned right, I'm gonna make them aligned left. Let's take out the extra space. Am I forgetting something? And Southern Vermont Chamber. Okay, let's do it again. We forgot an element because we need to keep it consistent, right? Okay. Okay, so now this is important. So now it's up to us. Do we want to put it here? Probably not. People read left to right. So basically what we're gonna do is that we're gonna put it to the left, we're gonna group it, we're gonna take it to the left. So now it makes a little bit more sense when you're reading it, presented by. The last thing that you have is these, that for the most part, they balance the whole design, and it will help us here. We don't have anything going on here or here, so this is where we can also grab them. We need to make sure that this is basically two elements, not one element. So let's just group it to make sure it's gonna be proportional. Group it again, or group the second one, grab both of them, copy them here, and now let's try to figure out how it would make sense in this design, in this format. So we can try getting this squiggly part here, and this squiggly part there. We can make this a bit bigger. We can grab both of them. We don't like this line. Let's take it out. It still has the same curve. And here you go. You converted your print ad that was on its way to be published in the Bennington Banner and Manchester Journal to your Facebook cover. And And that is pretty much how you can be converting this from a print ad to a Facebook cover. Then again, we can come here, convert it to Facebook, Instagram. Different publication has different sizes. Different people use different things. This is where you can be pretty much converting your assets to different dimensions. And then, let's say the coolest part about it all is you are done with your Facebook banner. You come here, you can click download. You have all of the different options to export it, whether as PNG, JPG, PDF, print, all of these different options. Let's say this is what we're working on. It's Facebook. We just need it as an image. So let's download it as an image. And then you can basically go to your Facebook, change your cover photo, or schedule it if it's a post. Which will sort of bring me to the last thing is the whole full cycle. You have your post, you have your design. The best thing to do, in my opinion, really, is to schedule everything by Meta. If you're more focused on Facebook and Instagram, once you create a post, you can be scheduling all of the ones for the upcoming week, for the upcoming month. And this is what I like to do. I like to develop my content calendar. Let's say a business wants to do a mix. One day is product highlights. Another day is team member highlights. Another day is local community collaboration feature or whatever you like. I like to prepare them all ahead of time, including their captions, including everything. In one sitting, I will schedule all of the posts to go out. They basically, you can either go to the planner if you want to see things that are coming up. The planner is good. This is where, for example, Eid is coming up. If you celebrate Eid, happy Eid. If you really want to do something about Earth Day, it's coming up. Cinco de Mayo, it's coming up. This is where you can schedule your things based on day. It's nice to have a visual display of your content. So this is where you can truly just Wednesday, let's create a post. We want it for Instagram and Facebook. You can also add some local Facebook groups. You can add your photos. This is not my computer. I don't have anything here. But this is where you can basically, let's say when you select both, hi everyone. This is where you can also customize it if you want a different caption for Facebook and Instagram. It will show you right away how it's going to look for people. And truly, just fill in the blanks. That's what I truly feel about everything. Go through everything. You want to add a reaction? Go for it. Express your feelings. Location, that's very important. You never know if people are looking you up by location or by post. You want to get messages? You want to add a button? Do you want to do some A/B testing? Do you want to add a link and see how your link preview? All of these stuff, they're available for you. Just click through them, is what I would say. And then it's up to you if you want to schedule it, publish it now, and then it's out. This is truly what we do in terms. Why is it going? Yes, what we do in terms of our work, because no one is actually gonna take so much time to prepare every single post. They're all being scheduled, and that's pretty much how you make a full cycle from understanding your digital assets, understanding your brand, knowing your audience, researching your target audience, putting all of these things together. When you are using Canva templates or Canva as a blank canvas, and then exporting them and generating all of the assets that you need, whether you're using Canva designs to post online, using Canva designs to optimize your website, or using Canva designs to truly develop posters that are nice enough. And this will be my presentation for today. Thank you all for joining. I really hope this was helpful in any way. All of these resources are great, and my favorite thing about Canva is that because it's online, you're not going to have copyright issues. When you use fonts that are accessible online, images that are accessible online, especially in the free version, it means that they are open source. It means that you will not be sued for copyright stuff. So that's why Canva is a really trusted resource for high quality designs, high quality production work, but also like knowing and trusting your work is fine. It's going to be good. A lot of the things are pre-made. It just needs a little bit of like your business and your spark and what makes your business special. And thank you.
Great. Thank you, Ahmed.
Thank you.
So we do want to give a shout out to our sponsors for this program and basically all our educational program this year would be Heritage Family Credit Union. We couldn't do without them. They are awesome. And also a shout out to Ahmed, but also, if this seems a little bit overwhelming, one, I know Ahmed loves to go around and teach and show other people how to do things, but also we have a resource in Vermont News and Media. They're more than a print newspaper now. They really are a media company. They outsource Ahmed. So you can actually hire them as well. And so, part of that is our partnership as the chamber to promote our members, but also we want you all to be successful too. And so we know that design and really selling the product and selling what you believe in is important. And one of the best ways to do that is through this kind of fancy marketing too. So we want to thank Ahmed again, as well as Vermont News and Media, as well as Heritage Family Credit Union, as well as Cat TV. Make sure you head on over to our website, swvtchamber.com. We have much more educational opportunities, coffee and conversations. I think we're going to come out with a customer service training pretty soon. Many of our members saw that come through in a survey. So we're very geared towards helping our small businesses and small nonprofits succeed. Thank you so much on behalf of the chamber.
Thank you.